Regardless of what protocol we use, we have to use port numbers at Layer 4. Layer 4 provides access to the application. Remember the TCP/IP suite? The applications cover Layer 5 through Layer 7, which means that the applications themselves handle the session layer, the presentation layer, and the application layer of the OSI model. So the only point of access to the application is through the transport layer. The transport layer provides port numbers for access to these applications, and it is going to be very important for you to memorize some of the more common port numbers, such as port 21, which is used for the File Transfer Protocol, or FTP. Port 23, which is used for Telnet. Port 25, which is used for SMTP, the Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Port 80, which is used for HTTP, the Hypertext Transport Protocol. And port 53, which takes advantage of both the TCP and the UDP protocol. This port is used for DNS. Let's look at an interesting example. Here is an application, let's say SMTP, which only uses the Transmission Control Protocol on port 25. It does not use UDP at all because it requires guaranteed transmissions. However, when we look at DNS, we can see a protocol that actually uses both TCP and UDP. Are you wondering why? Client-based DNS uses a UDP request for a name to IP address mapping for DNS. This is called a DNS lookup. The DNS server uses TCP for the reply. It also uses TCP for the purposes of transferring information between DNS servers for more intelligent lookups. So there are some applications that can use a TCP or UDP port depending upon its operation. Trivial File Transfer Protocol, TFTP, uses port 69 and it uses UDP only. SNMP, the Simple Network Management Protocol, at port 161 and 162. This is another one that you can write in. Only over UDP. 161 is manager to client. 162 is client agent trap. Then finally, we have RIP, the Routing Information Protocol, listed here at port number 520 of UDP. Of the many different ports that you can deal with, these are some of the more common ports that you want to remember. In addition to port, it is probably a good idea that we take a look at the individual transport layer protocols.